So, I am a progressive candidate. That's why I absolutely love Clayton's platform and everything he talks about, because I don't believe that we should be making anything great again. I think that that's the antithesis of America. We should be constantly improving and going back to the 40s or 50s. Which one was it that women had no rights? Yeah, that's what we're going back towards, and that's what we need to fix. We need to make sure that healthcare is brought back to the forefront. One of the biggest scams in America is when they tied healthcare to employment. Yep. And now you cannot afford your life or your bills to not be employed. We should have, and what I do plan on creating, is an opt-in free healthcare option. So that way all of the banshees that are going to be complaining about, oh, socialism, blah, blah, they just don't have to opt into it. And they can go bankrupt. It'll be fine. But in order to fund everything that Texas needs, all of his reforms, all of my reforms, all we have to do is tax the businesses and the wealthy appropriately. We don't have to try to gut them with taxes, but if we tax them back at their 40%, it's going to double the state's tax revenue. Texas is the 7th largest economy in the world. We are tied with Canada. None of our workers have any of the Canadian protections. None of our workers make any of the Canadian wages. None of our cities are protected in any way as the Canadian government does theirs. I don't want to become Canadian. I want to be better than them. I want to be able to say, oh no, I'm from Texas. I'm not from one of those other countries that takes care of their people. We take care of our Texans. That's what we should be doing. So that's what I plan on doing. One of my favorite things to talk about is I want a $25 minimum wage. And it is hilarious when you hear people try to argue against that. Because they're like, what? I don't make $25 and I work at a manufacturing plant. And then the guy who flips my burgers is going to make $25 an hour? It's like, yeah, the people that flip your burgers should make a living wage. It's radical, I know, but everybody should be able to pay their bills. I think it would be awesome if everybody was able to pay their bills, do something fun with the kids, and also have money for savings. I think that would be fantastic. It's almost like it's the American dream. Yeah. So let's go back to that. What I tell everybody is my platform is like the New Deal. And then everybody's like, oh, so like a New Deal. I'm like, well, unfortunately not. It's like the original New Deal. That's how much we have regressed in the last few decades. But it's still absolutely possible to make it all happen. We don't even need an entirely blue legislature. We don't need an entirely blue Texas. We just need people to get out and vote. Yeah. In case y'all haven't seen, Abbott's been running around strong-arming everybody. Patrick's been running around strong-arming everybody. They're all doing it. So why does everybody always ask, well, how are you going to get that accomplished without literally everything going according to plan? It's like, well, just like Clayton was saying, we're going to do. We're not going to ask, we're going to do. I am going to make sure that my Texans are taken care of. Not right, not left, not up, not down, doesn't matter at all. We want to make sure that all Texans are treated fairly, all Texans have the exact same rights, and all Texans have a good, honest shot at the American dream. All farms should be subsidized by the state. So that's either including no taxes, that's some sort of land or property relief. These are things that are important. Why should that be the case? Well, farmers, ranchers, y'all are in charge of actually feeding the country. Whether or not that food stays here or goes to somewhere else, we're trading it for something. We're not trading it and getting rocks. There's that. Then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the energy grid. Infrastructure reform needs to happen in Texas. We, since LBJ came through here with the electricity, we really haven't updated much. And one thing that I want to do is an entire state infrastructure reform. We're talking about leaking pipes, we're talking about our electrical grid, we're talking about our homes, we're talking about our regulations for single-family housing, we're talking about all these things. Why are we having to talk about this in the 7th largest economy in the world? These should not be questions that we talk about. Why are we talking about needing to fix pipes in a state that has a higher grossing economy than half of Europe? There's no reason why we should be like, why don't we already have all of our pipes fixed? Why do we have a struggling electrical grid that goes down and freezes a lot of Texans? But you know what it doesn't go down for? The crypto farms. Yeah, they love that energy. They love all of that water. By the way, getting all the water through the crypto farms takes twice as much energy. So when we're talking about a struggling and failing energy grid, it's just garbage. That's all it is. It's not we're trying our best and we have so many people moving to Texas. No. All of these businesses are taking absolutely everything, and the people that even work for these businesses get absolutely nothing. And we can fix that. All we have to do is vote. We have to get everybody out to vote. We have to talk to people in the supermarket about voting. Nobody wants to talk politics. Politics is depressing. Politics is upsetting. Everybody knows that all politicians are corrupt. All politicians are impotent. No politics are effective, except if that was the case, why did they try so hard to gerrymander? Why was it a national uproar just to carve out a few small places in Texas? Because every single vote counts. And not just your vote. If you can convince one person that was not going to vote or that was going to vote red to vote blue, that's 2 votes. And if more people keep doing that, it increases exponentially. And that's how we win. Nice and easy. Because we already know that the MAGA, the Republican, they are militant voters. Because they watch Fox News. Fox News scares the hell out of them, so that way they go vote. They go to church, and in the pulpit, the priest or bishop or whoever is telling them, hey, you need to vote for these people because those people are others. And they preach a whole entire sermon on it. I don't know if any of y'all have been to a conservative church lately, but wow, it is horrifying. I got to go to one, and I got to sit in the back, and my mouth was agape the entire time. I was just like, y'all were really saying this kind of stuff in a church? But I did get to see it with my own eyes, so I know exactly who needs to be taxed. I'm sorry.
Hear, hear.
Churches that are preaching from the pulpit are going to be taxed. But they won't just lose their tax-exempt status. They will never get it back. It's kind of like how we're never going to get that stain off the walls of our schools because we're having to put up all of this religious paraphernalia for one religion and not the 12 in Texas. And then, I don't know if you all have heard any of the most recent announcements, but they're trying to make it to where the kids say the Lord's Prayer. First thing, I'm Christian. When I heard that, I thought I was listening to a podcast from The Onion. I was like, oh crap, I need to go back and change this because I'm actually trying to listen to the news. No, it was the actual news. And I'm just horrified that they're weaponizing religion in this way. They already managed to do it with healthcare. They already managed to. By the way, women's healthcare, it absolutely needs to be codified into law. We need to make sure that all Texans have equal rights under the law, in the actual Texas Constitution. Because right now, they're using it as political talking points. Why am I about to tell the ladies in this room, don't worry, vote for me and you'll be able to keep voting for the rest of your life? Why should I be able to say that? That's horrifying. But that's the reality. In this last legislative session, everybody got to say, oh, they're trying to make it to where, oh, well, if they got married and changed their name, and then these documents don't match these documents, they can't vote. That's what they always do in their legislative sessions. That was their pilot program. They're going to tighten up the language and watch. In the next legislative session, it's going to be an entire fight. Because apparently suffrage never happened. They already removed that from the history books. So now they get to do whatever they want. Unless we fight back. I just completed a 17-year career in the United States Marines. All I know how to do is fight. I do not know how to play nice. I know how to argue. I know how to strong arm. I know how to make sure that everybody that I lead is taken care of. because that's how you're bred. They make sure that you are taking care of the people you're leading. You don't rule over them. You don't demand things of them. You provide the guidance. You show them, hey, there is a better way, and then you make sure that everybody follows that better way. You make sure that nobody stands on the shoulders of anybody else. Everybody is lifting each other up. That's how we make sure that all Texans have equal rights. And I do mean all Texans. If you're on Texas soil, you're Texan. It doesn't matter of your immigration status. It doesn't matter how long you've lived here or if you're just visiting family. It's kind of like in the Constitution of the United States of America, habeas corpus and all that other fun stuff applies to everybody on United States soil, especially due process. It applies to everybody. That's what we need to do with Texas, only we need to actually enforce it. And the very last thing that I'm going to talk about is immigration. Immigration is a horrifying mess right now, but if you go to any border town, they'll let you know that ICE was always that racist. They were always jackboot thug racists. It has never changed, and it's never going to change until we force it. The reason why it's so apparent now is because it's national news, because, hey, Trump's government straight up let him off the leash. That's all it was. I had family in ICE, and I don't have anything pleasant to say about ICE at all. Sure, they do a job, but they do it too well. They have too much enthusiasm for it. Has anybody ever heard that a lot of Mexican nationals will get nationalized in the United States, they'll get their citizenship, and then join ICE? Well, that's racism. Even if they're of that race, they could still be racist against their own people. If you don't believe so, I believe Trump got 8% of the vote of Black Americans. And when you say it like that, it's horrifying. What you're supposed to say is that he didn't get 92%. Yeah. But that 8% absolutely knew what they were doing because they were racist. I'm sorry, after Trump's first term, you cannot tell me that anybody should vote for this guy.
Well, what did the Hispanic vote? How much of that vote did he get? That's the
30, a lot.
Significantly higher.
Yeah, I mean,
the problem is a lot of Hispanic communities, not individuals, entire Hispanic communities are single issue voters. Mm-hmm. So they all vote lockstep with each other. Now, it's same with the church communities. It's the same with really any community there is, like unions and all of that. They will vote together. They will all get together. They will say, hey, we're going to vote this way, and then they all vote that way. Unfortunately, abortion has been hurting us. Mm-hmm. What we need to remind everybody is that we don't want Roe v. Wade back. Roe v. Wade was bad. And this is why I say that. And I'm sorry to go past the last thing I was going to talk about immigration, but Roe v. Wade was bad because Roe v. Wade allowed the individual states to outlaw abortion. We do not want that. We want all of Texas to have legal abortion. But we don't have to bring back Roe v. Wade to do it. I do understand that Roe v. Wade did open up a lot of contraceptives to people that didn't otherwise have access to it. I'm aware. But since Roe v. Wade got struck down because it was a massive government overreach, we had to make sure, oh, well, is there anything we can do? We relied on Planned Parenthood. So what did the conservatives do? Now they started closing all of those down too, saying all they do is abortions. They're just giving abortions. Abortions nationally for Planned Parenthood, less than 1% of their business.
Abortions in the 9th month is what they were saying.
Well, no. Okay. I absolutely have to tell this joke because it is one of my favorite. So my first conservative town hall, I was brand new to the campaign. I had just announced that I was actually running as a Democrat instead of an independent. And I went to a conservative town hall, just happened to be in a church. And one lady came up to the mic. She's like, oh, hey, are you pro-life or are you pro-abortion? And I was like, I'm actually pro-choice. She's like, well, I think you should be pro-life. And her demeanor, her voice, it was very calm, very respectful, so I was going to entertain it. I was like, well, why do you think that? She's like, well, they're killing babies. I was like, oh, that's actually a common misconception. They're actually killing no babies. The moment it's a baby, nobody touches it. And she was like, oh, well, my friend was talking about how a woman had given birth, and then they performed an abortion. I was like, oh, that is straight up murder. So if the baby is alive and comes out of the woman and it's killed, that's murder. And so, again, it was the very beginning of my campaign, so I'm a retired Marine, I got a little snarky, and I was like, so what happened? Did they just walk up to the lady and stab the baby in her arms, or what? And she was like, oh no, the baby was 6 years old.
What?
Now, this was the first time that I had heard this, and I'm using every bit of my military bearing to not ask her Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what are you talking about? I am just standing up there like, oh, okay, whoever said that to you, they're a liar. I'm telling you they're a liar. I'm calling them a liar. Take my contact information and tell them to get back to me if they have a problem with that. Because obviously the source is a minion meme on Facebook. I mean, let's be real.
I mean, they're saying that never mind, it doesn't matter, it's just so stupid.
Yeah, it's definitely stupid.
It's not even
But what that did was it allowed me to say, what are they talking about? Because as soon as Trump had his first term, we kicked all of the MAGA away from our dinner table. We didn't want to hear any of the hateful nonsense they had to say, especially during the Black Lives Matter protests. So we were like, no, get out of here. Well, they were still talking between each other. They didn't just shut up. So what they have been doing is hyping themselves up, especially with those Russian bot farms that have already been proven that they're on Facebook. Millions of accounts just straight up fake, but they use AI to reply. So they kind of look real. And it makes you hate humanity, like a lot. But it's not humanity, thankfully. So you're just hating fake humanity. Anyways. I have gone on so many tangents now. You're welcome. I'm not even getting into politics. This is just part of my stand-up routine. It's meant to depress everybody, not to make you laugh. But if there's anything that y'all take away from this, it's that Clayton Tucker has some merch up here, and it is nice. Like, I have been scared of this when I've been talking about it. But no, please, support every Democrat you possibly can. Even if you can't donate, share a Facebook post. Send a comment, a kind comment. We never get those. We never get, every now and again, somebody would be like, I'm gonna vote for you. And then you're like, thanks. And then you never hear from that person again. They deactivate their Facebook profile. They found out they were a Russian bot and they're gone. But the vast majority of comments we get is, why the hell do you think you'd be able to do something like this, libtard? So, anything other than that, we'll greatly appreciate it. It'll make our entire week. But if y'all have any questions, please make sure that you ask us, because, you know, we are campaigning, we're going around the state. We're hearing it all. The good, the bad, the fun, the less than fun. We hear it all. But it's important that we have all of these conversations. And if you get an opportunity, please check out my website. It's my last name, Pappas, Pappas, Forts. What's that? Like the restaurant. I'm not related to them, by the way. If I was, I wouldn't be begging for donations. Yes.
Make sure you fill in school vouchers.
Absolutely.
When you become governor. Make
Yes.
sure.
Public money should go to public utilities and other public services, never private. So, as far as vouchers are concerned, no. Public money should go to public education. It should not go towards vouchers. It should not go towards charter schools, private charter schools, public charter schools, private education like homeschooling, private tutoring. We should not be supplementing parent choice. We should still have parent choice. I fully support a parent's right to homeschool their child, but the state should not pay for it.